Oh, these citations are kind of strange.
Because it's with a typewriter.
Yeah, it shows.
31 pastors. Okay, so this leads us all the way up to just prior to the 80s. I think this was late 70s when J.W. Wynn was here. He was at the time the longest tenured pastor here. But as you will see, from 1931 and 1933, 2 years. 1934, 1935, 1 year. 1936, 1940, 4 years. From 41 to 41, not even a year. From 42 to 43. From 43 to 44.
So it's just a list of like pairs of 2 years each pastor.
Yeah, and that's generally the tenure of the, and this isn't, of course, everybody, but by and large, on average, in Southern Baptist churches, the historical experience has been 2 years on average.
And there's no life pastors type of thing,
it happens, but it's rare. I mean, 43, 44, 44, 45, 46, 49. That's 3 years. 53 to 61. And that's better. That's 8 years. Okay. 62 to 69. That's what, 7 years.
How many pastors would that be in total?
Oh, there's been a few. Well, I mean, we've been around 70, 80 years. This fella right here had the best attendance this church has ever known in the history of the church.
Really?
Yeah, and a lot of drama was around this right here. This guy leaving, a lot of drama. 70 to 75, he was somewhat popular, but then again, you know, those are some of the. J.W. Wynn is the guy who spearheaded the building of this gymnasium over here.
Wednesday Piper.
Yeah. And so
they tell you where they graduated and stuff. Wow.
Some of them, yeah. Well, what happened here was the church historian gathered up all this information over time and has put it together. Now, we don't have anything past, well, here we go, 2000. So J.W. Wynn. So here we go. You'll notice there's none of that back there.
What was that? Just grass?
Just woods. Woods. This right here there used to be railroad tracks going down. Beach Boulevard was railroad tracks to the beach. I mean, you had to catch a train. And
you mean behind us?
Yeah.
Behind.
Okay, right. There was railroad that went to the beach, and people would come to the bus or to the train station and ride to the beach. It was a lot different back in the day. So let's see, from 85, so that was after J.W. Wynn. So this is gonna, let's see if we see church pastors and staff, 34 and 44. Yeah, there's J.W. Wynn. So 76 to 85, all right? Now, after 85, we get Don Edwards. He wasn't here long. I don't remember how long, but he wasn't long. 85 to 87. That's Randy Wilson. Okay, he was another fellow that this is, I mean, I begin to understand some of the stuff that goes on at Hogan from Randy Wilson forward, actually from J.W. Wynn forward. This guy wasn't around very long, though. I don't know much about him. Randy Wilson, a lot of interesting stuff going on there.
Oh, Satan was here.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
He's been here for a long time.
Yep, 87 to 92, so that's 5 years. Larry Knight, 95 to 98, 3 years. from 99 to whenever. So this was the guy that was here when I came. And so a lot had changed. But and Jerry Brown, he was here, I think, 7 years or so. A lot of going on there. And so again, this is one of the regular beginning fellas.
Oh, he's the one.
Yeah, when I first came here, he was in the hospital and he passed away. I got to do a pastoral visit to him before he passed away.
So he was like the starter?
He was one of the first guys. James Williamson also was a guy. Herman Ibach. They've got Evelyn Basco. I knew a lot of these people. She was here. Always sat on the front row. I didn't know Sadie Smith. Buddy Britt was head of stewardship committee, and his wife, and Jerry Brown. Let's see, Russell Elmore. They're my neighbors. They go to South Point now. Been going there for a long time. David Hill was Mayhill's son. And that's Mayhill. Lamar, I knew Lamar. Jim and Bernice Hudgens. The Ibachs were big. There's more Ibachs and more Ibachs. And there's Satan. I didn't know that guy. Don't know these people. Harry and Margie Royce, I knew both of them. They were also long time standing members of Hogan. Gerald Savory, he was chairman of the deacons for a long time. He came in 1965, 1967, I believe, yeah. 1967. So they grew up, raised their family here.
The usual pattern, like the Baptist congregants are more, I guess, stay in one place more than the pastors do, or people.
Yeah, it depends, but yes, that has been known to be the case. Generally speaking, I mean, the pastors are constantly moving. That's Gerald Savory's son, and I think I think that might have been his. There was a relative somehow, and I don't remember how, and that was Tracy's daughter. They're all passed away now.
Do you know if this church had any connections with Terry Road Baptist Church?
I'm not aware of any. Doesn't mean it didn't happen, but I'm not aware. And yep, I knew these guys. These were all deacons here. And many of them have since passed away. There's the stage. And anyway, a lot of people have come and a lot of people have gone. Don Pritchett and his family, and there's the roll. We had over 900 people on the roll. When I got here, there was only about 120 or so in attendance. We trimmed the roll back to those who were actively participating and not those who had visited at one time and stepped forward with some kind of profession or something. So, and that's kind of where actually COVID set us back from that. We ran about 120, and now we're running a strong, solid 50 on any given service time. So, but it's a strong 50, and in spite of the fact that we have decreased so much in numbers, the giving has remained the same or increased, which is an interesting, testament to the faithfulness of the people that have hung in there. But that's.
When are we making a new Chronicles?
We've got stuff all over the place that needs to be chronicled, and we're running out of people who are remaining, who know the stories and can tell them. And so all of the history, and I suspect, I haven't read this through all the way, but my guess is that this is a very positive depiction of all that has occurred at the church. But anybody who's spent any kind of time in church life knows that the devil is constantly at work trying to trip things up and keep it spicy. And so there is no doubt that much of the details of what has plagued not just this church but many churches like us over the course of years is not included in here. And who knows, maybe one day, without you just want to present things fair and objectively. And I understand the need and the desire to be positive. And much positive stuff has gone on here over the course of the years. I mean, you take a look at the property that we have and the buildings that are on it and the testimonies, and there's hardly any place you can go in this town you don't find somebody that's been at Hogan Baptist Church. They've either been married here, played softball out here, got married here, you know, raised a family here, have been some part of this ministry for a long time. It's a legacy church. And so there's a lot of good stories. But anytime you turn the lights on, the bugs come out. So there's lots of other stuff going on too, stuff that we can all learn from and hope and pray to God we never repeat.
Good stuff.